Hey everyone, today is a big day. I'm testing the ROV Tethered. In case you need a refresher, I'm building autonomous robots to create ship propellers, and this is the first half of the proof of concept. I'm going to a very special location today to actually test the ROV. Okay, let's take a good look at how the ROV is right now.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I wasn't LA. California dreaming.
So this is the ROV. It has a long 14 feet tether. It has an Arduino on the inside which interfaces the command from my laptop. Then it has a buck converter, 2 motor controllers, and 4 motors that run the propellers. Now on the other end of the tether, we have 3 cables going on. One is the fuse box which connects to the battery jack right here. Then we have a RCA video output that connects to my laptop via adapter. And we have the serial output for the Arduino to connect with the second Arduino, which is kept right here. Now you might be wondering, why do we have 2 Arduinos when the robot runs on one? Well, because we have a 14 feet tether, it's long enough that we cannot use a standard USB cable to connect this Arduino with my laptop to get the command swing. So I use a relay Arduino which connects between the one in the robot and my laptop, and it takes the command from my laptop and then relays it through this tether that's 14 feet long and gets the command to the ROV. Now, I'd like to take this moment to specially thank Merge Club by ODF for giving me the grant to build this prototype, and for IIT Delhi's Makerspace for giving me access to their equipment and machines so that I can build the parts for this robot. With all said and done, let's get going to the special place I'm demoing this at. So this is the location. It's in the farms, and back there is a tube well filled pool which is 20 by 10 by 5, which has the perfect water. It's groundwater. It's the kind of water that's in the ports. It's slightly murky but clean. So that's back in the pool, and that's where I'm going to test. So let's take the robot there and get ready to test. I have all the stuff ready to go. All the systems are working and the ROV is ready. Cameras are set up, the computer is working, the controls are working. Let me show you the controls. So the battery is on. As you can see, the lights are on in the robot. There's a red light on here, so the controls are on. Let me get here's the serial monitor. I have put in WW, which is forward. Let me set up the camera and show it the right way. Cool. So now if I show you, that's going forward. Now it's rising up. Now it's sinking down. Now it's going to the left. Now it's going to the right. Perfect. And yeah, this is backwards. So all of those systems work. That means the ROV can move. And for the video feed, we have to come here to the laptop, and here on the camera you can see I'm waving to the camera and it shows on the laptop. Currently it's black and white because of the adapter I'm using. The protocol is a bit different than what's provided by the camera, so it's losing its color, but it's actually a color camera. So when I plug it into a TV, it does show everything in full color. So right now I get black and white picture, but that's good enough to just see how it's behaving and what it's doing underwater. It's also recording, which is nice. So yeah, with everything set up, now it's time to actually get testing. And one last thing, let me show you the pool itself. So this is the pool. As you can see, it shows a little bit green as you move there. It's also really nice sunlight today, so it's a little bit green, and that's because it's from a tube well and it's groundwater with a little bit of algae on the base. And this is very close to how actual port waters are. It's not all clean because you can't keep the port waters all clean. And it has a little bit of algae on the bottom, which happens automatically. And then it's also kind of fresh water, but with a little bit of dirt. So this is the kind of water you'll find in a port, or very close to it, and that's what we are testing in. Now this is the special location we are demoing at because it's winter time, and most of the pools are especially in Delhi, most of the pools are closed during this time, and they open from April to September. So for me to find a pool that's working, that allowed me to actually test, and that was available within the time frame of testing this robot and iterating on it, this is the best option I got. And it also has water that's very closely related or closely matched to the port environments. So we're going to test in this water. Before I drop the robot in, just want to mention these are the questions I'm trying to answer in this demo, and by the end of this video you'll know my analysis and the answers that I found to this demo. So now let's get testing. Voiceover time. Here I'm setting everything up closer to the pool, making sure I can see the video feed from the ROV, which is on the screen right now. Here I drop the ROV in. At this moment the ROV can see alright in the water, and as you can see it floats, but mainly because of the orange floats I added to the top. Now I'll try to move. It moves, not super fast, and the tether weighs it down as well, so I'll drop the tether in. Now with the tether dropped in, it finally starts moving. It turns good. Here I have the left command going, and it is turning on a dime. Here you can see the video quality is also decent, especially with close-up objects. Here's the fun part. At this point, you can see some bubbles coming up, and that's exactly when water leaked into the electronics case and the air escaped. I haven't figured it out yet, so I try sinking it a little bit by deflating one of the floats and getting it to move further away and down. However, it just doesn't work now. After a little bit of troubleshooting and one more attempt putting it in, the case cover just burst open with water. Turns out I forgot to sand and prepare the acrylic for epoxy sealant. The sealant I'm using worked great on all the other holes, but just not this front one. Hey, this is me from a couple days later. As you saw, the ROV stayed watertight for about 3 minutes. It isn't the best. I've built a lot of robots, but this is my first time building in underwater robotics. So I learned a lot and got a lot of useful data to work upon. Remember, this is a proof of concept. So the whole point of this build is to learn. First of all, waterproofing. The electronics case head was made of acrylic sheet, which is sealed with epoxy. It was a last moment fix and I forgot to prepare the acrylic for better adhesion. So that's what leaked. If you see closely, the epoxy has a very shiny mirror-like finish to it, which means it never bonded with the acrylic as good as it could have. I will be redesigning this entire electronics case with proper seals and better cable glands, so it stays watertight much longer. Then comes motor speed, which clearly isn't enough. I have 12 volt brushed motors, all 4 of them, which I have waterproofed myself, and with the circuits that are in right now, they get less than half of what the current they are rated for. So there is an option for me to just add more current, and there's also an option for me to change the propeller design to just a more water suited one. I will be changing both of them, and hopefully for the next iteration the speed is not an issue and it just moves much faster than I even needed. Next is the buoyancy. I was manually deflating the floats when I tried to sink the ROV. The ROV itself is negatively buoyant, so it does sink on its own, but I added these floats so that in case the ROV stops working, I can easily pull it out because it's closer to the surface. So in the next iteration, I will add an automatic buoyancy management system, which is very similar to what you can see in submarines. And if you know about propellers, especially the ones in container ships and bigger ships that I'm targeting, they can sit almost 5 meters underwater. And having that kind of depth means that at some point I will need to add an active buoyancy system, because not using it will just burn a lot more power in otherwise the thrust-based sinking that I'm using right now. So I will be adding an active buoyancy system in the next iteration. Last but not the least, the camera. While it worked sort of good, stayed watertight and had decent clarity, I really want something that's much more clear, has some level of depth sensing, and of course a color output. I will be adding more sensors like sonar to the next version as well, so we have no problem in underwater navigation and it doesn't hit anything. But I will also be adding a much more clear camera, possibly 4K, so that it has a very clear vision underwater, along with better lights, which just make everything brighter underwater as well. But hold on, before all of this, I'm currently building the cleaning module or the polishing module, which serves as the main function of the ROV, that is cleaning and polishing the propellers. I will come back with a new video testing the cleaning module soon, and after that I'll do the updates to the ROV that I mentioned in this video. Until then, have fun!